dumped in front of the whole school, he vanished and came back with the power of divine thunder. Now they're calling the Tyrant and the entire spiritual association hunting for him. Blue holographic screens flash across the void. Maps, stats, chaos. Spiritual energy storm inbound. Mutant beasts evolving. Cities in crisis. Martial artists. Humanity's final defense. Scenes flicker. Rifts tearing open. Monsters rampaging. Soldiers holding the line. Then, sunlight. A martial arts academy courtyard. It's selection day. Elite scouting fresh talent. By the steps, one student murmurs, "Didn't the school belle dump her bloke here last year?" "Yeah, right there." Another replies, "Didn't even fight back." They squint toward the crowd. Fang something? There he is, Fang Yi. Quiet, composed, watching. Red-haired girl flips her hair, casual. "I thought about it. We just weren't a good match." She shrugs. Distance, no chemistry. Let's be honest, we were never right for each other. I'm focusing on cultivation now. Relationships just get in the way. "So let's break up," she's matter of fact. No hesitation. Present. Not going to say anything? Not even a reaction. Whispers from the crowd. "Didn't he like her loads? Maybe he's already over it." She folds her arms. "You seriously this calm? I thought you'd at least try to stop me." He exhales. "Got nothing else to say? Then I'll be going now." She freezes as he turns. "Hey, you! Your silence is louder than any goodbye." "Something else?" he asks. Eyes flat. No warmth, no weight. She bites back. "I don't care what games you're playing. Just stop trying to reel me back in. Got that?" He meets her stare without so much as a twitch. "Don't flatter yourself, schoolbell." Then with a half turn, barely sparing her another glance, "I'm busy." She's left speechless. Someone nearby mutters, "No way, so blunt." But he doesn't stop walking. Chu-Ching Li and the others have no idea what's coming. Money. Education. Everything they cling to. It'll all burn. They don't know I've seen the future, lived it, died in it. I've come back from ruin. A man reborn in this timeline. And her? The girl standing there like she still matters. To me, she's just a stranger from another life. Right now, I've got more important things to deal with. School bells, reputation, every system is about to be reshuffled. The real crisis is for all of Blue Star humanity. This all started last night. Glass shatters across the void. His red eyes reflect the fragments of a broken sky. Visions spiral, a crimson moon, frozen cities, skies torn by lightning, monsters ravaging streets. A voice echoes. Revealed, the spiritual energy revival will begin in 361 days. 11 hours and 59 minutes. Once this revival starts, the world will undergo unprecedented and unpredictable changes. Mark. Society's rules collapse. Power takes the throne. The age of spiritual practitioners begins, and with it, a new law. Strength decides all. He reaches toward the glowing core. "Wait, who are you?" No reply. Only light, pulling, spiraling. His eyes widen. What? A system screen flickers to life. This system hails from the ends of the universe, using top-tier algorithms embedded with cosmic secrets. It auto-generates cultivation techniques based on spiritual materials the host touches. Sentence. He stares, stunned. Before he can react, light surges. A beast's maw tears through the energy field, its red eye locked on him. This was how it ended. Me, just another nobody, and the rest of Blue Star, doomed. The old me? I remember now. In that life, I was just a face in the crowd, nothing more. Struggling every day just to stay alive, praying the chaos would pass. But all I saw was collapse. My country in ruins. People broken. In the end, I couldn't run. The beasts found me. I died there, bleeding, angry, powerless, burning for a second chance. Maybe that's why I was chosen by the system. Sent back a year before aura recovery. Right now, no one has a clue what's coming. I'll use every single aura anomaly to my advantage. System initializing new assessment. Host successfully bound. New path unlocked. Everything in existence can be used as material for this system. Collect techniques, learn skills, grow powerful, save the world. Humanity now faces an unprecedented crisis. We can't rely on the past, only grow stronger ourselves. The government neither confirms nor denies the strange phenomena, just tells people to be ready. Warnings like these? Shah Nation's way of saying take it seriously, without full-on panic. Reports that were once dismissed as myths are now mainstream. Shah's silent, subtle approach keeps the public calm and loyal. It's not flashy, but it works. Way better than chaos and gunfire like the neighbors. Wait, the system said I can use anything. So should I be heading toward these anomalies? Qingsheng University new students, wear sunscreen, avoid outdoor exposure. Even top universities are doing height now. This heat could kill people. So fake, definitely a paid trending topic. Wait, how's the weather that different? Qingsheng's just 15 minutes from here. Something's not right. When weird things first show up, most people think it's some publicity stunt. Only I know this is my first proper chance. This is the north gate of Qingsheng Uni. Quietest spot. Feels off already. Something's clearly wrong here. Move proper. Room's on your left. What's that? He reaches out instinctively, fingers brushing the glowing ember. Oh, detected intense fluctuation in Yang attribute. Unlocking Yang attribute data template. A surge of golden energy slams into him. Gah! Lines of power crackle through his body, blazing, wild, uncontrollable. What the hell? Am I seeing things? Super Saiyan guy? Nah, this looks like a proper apostle descent. Ugh, is it done compiling? I feel like I'm about to die. Compilation complete. You've acquired a Yang attribute technique. Golden Sun breathing technique. Qingsheng University. New student registration day. Male student. Classmate, do you need help with your luggage? Do you know the way? I can take you. Another male student. Classmate, this is our club's recruitment booth. Take a look. If you're interested, we can swap contact info. Red-haired girl? Thanks, that won't be necessary. Male student. Well, lucky we're both from the same city. Half an hour apart isn't far at all. Female friend. Yeah, we can still see each other every day. Red-haired girl thinking. Hopelessly in love. A blazing column of heat slams down from the sky, scattering the crowd. Onlooker. What in God's name? A flaming beam from above and no warning from the officials. The red-haired girl watches, her gaze sharp. Strange occurrences keep piling up. Nothing surprises me anymore. At the north gate, the golden light spirals to the ground, erupting in a burst. Through the settling smoke, a lone figure emerges. Our useless brat exhales slowly. Whew! Gaze into the blazing sun. Inhale and exhale its intensity. Use the Golden Sun breathing technique for body refinement. System, the technique you created does not require learning. Unlocked. Compilation points gained. 50. He studies his glowing hands. Compilation points? What's that? Shaking his head, he smirks. Doesn't matter. It's clearly useful. I'll figure it out later. The sunlight shifts unnaturally, dimming for a brief moment. A student glances up. Oi, did it just go dark for a second? Another nods. Yeah, even felt cooler for a moment. From the courtyard, someone calls out. Quickly, loads of people are crowding at the north gate. At the scene, a man in a brown coat frowns. Why are so many gathered? Weren't we told not to come here? An assistant replies briskly. Check everyone in. Anyone missing will lose credit. A hooded subordinate issues an order. Reset the perimeter. Seal the north gate completely. The man answers. Understood. The system flashes a notice. Polluted zones. Abnormal sites designated by the Shah Nation government contain deviated aura recovery energy. Danger level unknown. He frowns. Polluted zones. Marked by Shah Nation. He glances around. Don't tell me I'm the only one who can see this. From the loudspeakers. Alert! Unauthorized presence near the north gate. Please evacuate immediately. His eyes narrow at the gathered group. Are those military personnel? He notes the gathering crowd. Too much attention. It's pulling people in. With a final glance, he steels himself. Time to move. He launches forward, disappearing into the settling dust. A hooded figure steps through the drifting dust, crouching to inspect the scorched ground. Lifting a small fragment, they mutter, "It was man-made." Their gaze sharpens. Could it be someone who's already come into contact with aura? Nearby, an officer barks, "Situation critical. Evacuate quickly." Among the crowd, the red-haired girl catches the words. Man-made aura? Her expression hardens. Wait, something this dangerous was created by a person? The red-haired girl watches the fading figure. But that bloke just now, Fang Yi! She shakes her head. Don't be daft, Chu Ching Chi. With his grades, how could he possibly be here in Ching Cheng? Fan Yi's home. He lies on his bed, heat radiating from his body. What's going on? This heat won't disappear from me at all. Cold showers, air conditioning, nothing works. If this carries on, I won't even sleep well tonight. Sitting up, he frowns. Wait, with how big that commotion was today, could someone have noticed? Fang Yi picks up his phone. I need to check. On the screen, trending number 1. Aura Cultivation Association updates cultivation realms. He pauses. What's this? Reading on, he murmurs, Aura Cultivation Association. I vaguely remember it popping up once before. They'd post cultivation guidelines now and then. Back then, everyone thought it was just some novelist making it up. His eyes narrow as a memory surfaces. The people I saw earlier at Chingcheng University. Could they be? He taps open. The screen displays Cultivator Realm details. From crafting basic weapons to refining one's body, through awakening spirit origins, forging mental strength, and beyond. Each stage described in detail. A note stands out. Aura recovery is unstoppable. Fellow cultivators, take precautions to protect humanity. He frowns. Though it sounds far-fetched, that format and watermark, could this announcement really be from Zia Nation? In my previous life, I'd never even heard of the association. As an ordinary man, this sort of intel was beyond his reach. Until disasters overturned everything. Back then, all his energy went into surviving. Aura Cultivation Association. Is this a signal to those who've touched aura early? He sets the phone aside, his eyes firm. Then, as it says, let's try running the golden sun breathing technique again. Closing his eyes, he focuses. Golden flames bloom around him. Heat rippling through the room as his aura stirs to life. First step, refine the body itself into a weapon, letting it contain the aura of both heaven and earth. Control the aura, shape it into a divine axe. Golden light flares, coalescing into a brilliant weapon above him. Could this be? A system prompt appears. Congratulations, you have ascended to the Dao Shuai realm. Another message follows. You may use compilation points to forcibly embed the completed data into any object. Current compilation points, 50. Compilation points. I nearly forgot. He pulls up the interface. First time obtaining compilation points, 50 points. You may select to forcibly embed the completed data into any object you touch, or store it for later use. What's that supposed to mean? The completed data? That's the golden sun breathing technique, right? He eyes a cup on the table. This counts as an object, yeah? Consume compilation point and embed yang attribute into this item. Yes? No? A smirk. Nailed it. Forcibly embedding means enchanting an object with supernatural power. If it's a cup, knife, or weapon, couldn't that become an attribute weapon? He looks up at the swirling golden light. Based on what the system says, I might not be limited to just one attribute's data. He turns the small cup in his hand, golden light pulsing faintly from it. A custom-made weapon with supernatural power, that's going to be vital later. His gaze shifts to the window. Let's test it on you first. If it works, I'll commission a proper one. Starting over means I need to be ready, fully ready, to face those mutated beasts. Outside, under the cold glow of the moon, something stirs in the trees, silent shapes shifting closer to the building. From the shadows between the trees, a pair of blood-red eyes gleam, sharp teeth glinting under the moonlight. The creature steps forward, fur bristling, claws scraping against the earth, its gaze fixed, unblinking. Beneath its feet, a human hand lies limp in the dirt, half buried among the undergrowth. Under the pale wash of moonlight spilling through the window, faint scurrying echoes across the room. He stirs in bed, brow tightening, before pushing himself up with a quiet groan. Ugh. His gaze sharpens, crimson eyes glinting in the dark. Where did that rat come from? He sits on the edge of the bed, feet touching the cool floor. Not inside the house, and not the pipes either. Could it be someone else's pet making that racket? Rising, he steps lightly across the room, senses sharpened. Since stepping into the ghost axe realm, my hearing's been sharper than most. Catching sounds from the neighbours is nothing unusual. Yet, as the faint gnawing persists, his crimson gaze flicks upward towards the ceiling. Something's off. A faint noise echoes beyond the door. His head snaps towards the corridor. In the hallway? Glowing red eyes and sharp teeth emerge from the dark, its form unmistakable. That rabbit, it's a mutated beast, warped by the anomaly. He swallows hard, tension knotting in his chest. Even with the memories of my past life, facing one of these again still sends a chill down my spine. Figure watching from the rooftop. We still haven't managed to catch that rabbit that ate the night spirit fruit. They narrow their eyes, wind tugging at their cloak. That thing's speed is absolutely ridiculous. She calmly eating a sweet. Oh, keep me posted on any new developments. She springs forward, leading across the skyline with speed that cuts through the night air. Cloaked figure, thinking, there it is, the aura of the mutant beast. They adjust their stance mid-leap, honing in on their target. Every movement sharp and deliberate. She lands hard, the impact cracking the rooftop beneath them. Voice in earpiece. Night aura detected again. Targets moved into a densely populated residential area, 20 kilometers out. She launched forward without hesitation. Voice in earpiece. Coordinates received. Pursue at all costs, but make sure the residents remain unharmed. She flips mid-air, cloak trailing behind. Voice in earpiece. Everyone stay sharp. It devoured the spirit fruit not long ago. Mutation and evolution aren't complete. Odds are it'll keep getting stronger, so be on guard. She vaulted past the towering glass facade, catching the attention of a man inside. Office worker? What on earth? Must be the overtime making me see things. From the background, a colleague calls out. Colleague, oi, stop daydreaming. Is that comic finished yet? Under the full moon's glow, a shadow arcs downward. The mutant rabbit lunges with a shriek, crimson eyes blazing. The young man meets its charge head-on, golden light bursting from his body. MC thinking, my body's really changed after the breakthrough. I can see its movements as if in slow motion. He shifts his stance, ready to counter. Thinking, and my muscles, fast enough to dodge and strike back in an instant. But seriously, mutated beasts showing up this early? He focuses, lightning crackling faintly. From what I remember, compared to the monsters I saw in my past life, this one hasn't even reached its full form yet. The night attributes just boosting its strength and rage. The creature charges, fangs bared. I've got to take it down, now. If I don't, everyone in this building's done for. He surges forward, aura blazing. The beast snaps at him. Chomp all you like. He dodges sharply, eyes narrowing. Its weakness is the tail. He pivots mid-air, driving a strike straight for the target. The fight continues as the protagonist channels a blazing golden energy into his legs, launching forward with deadly precision. The impact sends the mutated beast hurtling through walls and glass, shattering everything in its path. With a burst of light, he strikes the creature's tail, its weak point, releasing a massive beam of golden energy that pierces straight through its body. The beast lets out a final, guttural roar, writhing in agony under the blinding blast. The beast's glowing red eyes burn with fury as it lunges, jaws wide. It's trying to drain my yang attribute power? A sharp glint enters his gaze. MC thinking, the sun's force is fierce and absolute. This rabbit's just signed its own death warrant. Light bursts violently, engulfing the beast. A distant boom echoes. Resident. Thunder? He peers out the window. But there's nothing out there. Golden shards scatter in the night as the MC lands. Shoulders rising with each breath. MC thinking, that thing, it was like a starving ghost trying to rip the energy straight out of my body. His gaze drops to the ground, where a blood-red bead rolls to a stop. He studies it in silence. A night attribute creature, desperate even when faced with its natural counter, the yang attribute. It must have been starving. The beast mutations have already begun. If I was still the same unawakened man as before, everyone here would have been a starter course for that monster by now. To fight things like this, I'll need to gather more techniques. Above, a figure in dark combat gear launches into the night sky, the moon framing their silhouette against jagged peaks. Silver-haired woman. Dead? Her thoughts, targets down, bodies in pieces. I'll recover what's left of the night attribute first. She touches the scorched ground, but pauses. Her thoughts, this heat, such pure yang energy, exactly like what I sensed at Ching Cheng's North Gate. Her eyes narrow. Her thoughts, this can't be a coincidence. Speaking into her earpiece. HQ, rabbits confirmed dead, but it wasn't me who killed it. Someone news appeared, high-level attribute user. HQ, through comms, are you saying the one who purified the Northgate's polluted zone also took down the mutated beast? That's what it looks like. Even if their aura's only at Ghost Axe Realm 1 star, it's absurdly pure yang, exactly like the Northgate. The confirmation came through. No record of this individual existed in the database. With talent of this level, the order was clear. Pause all other missions, track the Forerunner, document them, and, if possible, persuade them to join the Aura Cultivation Association. Acknowledgement was given, though not without a quiet request for a cup of milk tea first. A moment of thought followed. Just who is this person? Elsewhere, flames curled around a figure, their thoughts certain. The president was right. Someone with this strength is definitely a master. I must meet them. He stretched wide, letting the golden morning light pour over him. The whole day's plan begins in the morning. The sun's brilliance shines on me. Buttoning his shirt, he mused, early starts work best for cultivation. Drawing in the sunlight, he channeled the golden sun breathing technique, heat and energy swirling around him. Eyes narrowing, he focused. Since stepping into the Ghost Axe realm, I can feel the technique's aura manifest, like threads coiling around the divine axe. A sudden surge of power made him pause. That quick? Another breakthrough. Golden light surged around him as he exhaled slowly, the heat of his energy pulsing through his veins. The moment his fingers closed around the axe, a sharp jolt ran through his arms. Lighter than before, almost effortless to lift. The axe's weight, definitely less than yesterday. He swung it down in a steady rhythm, each strike wrapped in arcs of golden lightning. Cultivation's just like splitting wood. Nothing else matters but persistence. With a final roar, he brought the weapon down in a blinding arc. A pillar of golden light tore through the air as a message rang out. You have advanced to Ghost Axe Realm 2 star. His eyes opened, burning with golden flame. His body felt sturdier than before, the lingering heat of cultivation still pulsing through his veins. The rapid progress, he realized, was only thanks to the leftover energy from his previous breakthrough. From here on, each step would have to be earned properly. Still, the visual spectacle his training produced was far too conspicuous. He'd need a more discreet place to continue. Elsewhere, in the association's office, a man glanced at a sudden reading. Solar energy fluctuation. Him again. By the river, beneath the calm of the mountains, he settled with his tablet, preparing for what came next. Parts. He confirmed the system's prompt with a firm yes, letting the golden yang energy surge into the blade. The light flared, wrapping around him like a living flame. He recalled a past failure, trying to turn a mere figurine into a weapon. Though the coding had worked, the object had shattered under the yang attribute's force. Clearly, not every item could bear such power. This time felt different. The blade resonated with him, its core in perfect sync with his own energy. The system confirmed it. Coding succeeded. A faint smile tugged at his lips. A fine weapon, he mused. Let's see what you can really do. Energy erupted as he swung, the golden arcs tearing through the air with blinding speed. His eyes widened. Whoa. The sheer force painted the horizon in searing light. The blade cleaves through the air, unleashing a blazing arc that nearly scorches the land. He exhales sharply. Close call, almost set half the place ablaze, but the smoke and noise are far from subtle. With a glance around, he mutters under his breath, time to vanish before eyes start watching. Elsewhere, hurried footsteps pound against the ground. A frustrated curse escapes. Missed it by a fraction. She'd only stepped away to grab a cup of milk tea. Yet, the commotion erupted in her absence. Muttering about bad luck and retrograde Mercury, her eyes suddenly widen. Steam rises in the distance. Hold on, a hot spring? Steam curled around the ruined Buddha statue as she stared up at it, baffled. What on earth did you do? She muttered, already dreading the after-sales nightmare. The cleaning department would have her head. Ever since that man appeared, trouble followed. Her thoughts froze. Golden energy blazed in the distance. Impossible. Last night it was only Ghost Axe 1 star, now 2 star, and a spirit weapon. Spirit weapons, ordinary arms infused with attributes, were almost unheard of. The association only held 2, and the core tech was far from public reach. How could he have one? A pause. Then, with a small smirk, must have been my mistake. She readied herself. Better start tidying up this mess. Let's cool the stream first. His weapon now pulsed with the Yang attribute. But the system never said it had to stop there. If all things could be coded, then surely other attributes could be layered on, stacking their effects. That thought was interrupted by incoming messages. He'd forgotten to turn on privacy mode. A group chat of pioneers buzzed with chatter, trading rumours and tips. One mention caught his attention, a newly formed pollution zone. Intrigued, he asked for details. The file unpacked Dark River Molten Dragon. A once cool river, now molten lava from tectonic shifts, radiating heat from mutation. Its attribute matched his Yang type perfectly. This could be profitable. He typed back without hesitation. He was in. In the Binmu district, the group awaited a friend's arrival. Soon, came the reply, as thanks were given for the detailed intel that led them here so quickly. They agreed to watch each other's backs once inside. One blonde woman lamented the lack of standout pioneers to recommend to the association, explaining that few even knew it doubled as a government agency. Gaining formal membership, she said, was nearly impossible without connections, as she herself had passed numerous tests at great cost to her family. Spotting someone in the distance, her expression shifted. Is that Fang? Fang! He stepped forward with a calm smile. I'm Fang. Pleasure to meet you all. The group pushed deeper into the cave, the faint blue glow of spirit ore lighting their path. Despite his strength, his presence felt warm and non-threatening, putting the others at ease. Taking the lead, he guided them carefully, warning about loose rocks and unexpected hazards. The air wasn't as scorching as expected, likely because they hadn't reached the pollution zone's core. He reminded them safety came first. Though he'd joined last, they welcomed him readily, their camaraderie genuine in these uncertain times. Soon, the tunnel opened into a molten vista, rivers of lava snaking through jagged rock. Gasps echoed. It's real. Proper lava. He stepped forward without hesitation, ignoring the startled warnings behind him. Lava's heat roared against his face, yet he knelt at the edge, weapon poised. Shouts erupted, calls to pull him back, questions about whether he'd lost his mind. But before anyone could grab him, molten waves surged high, bathing the cavern in searing light. In that instant, his system reacted, detecting a world anomaly, inner flame. Analysis began, threads of data spinning through his mind. Ultimate computing power engaged. The coding process underway, binding this raw elemental force to his will. A surge of information filled his mind. Inner flame, blisteringly hot, volatile, and devastating. The Scarlet Flame sword technique demands a drawn blade to awaken its true fury. Each swing igniting the steel with fire and summoning lightning. When flames and battle intent unite, the blade erupts with overwhelming force. He studies the roaring heat before him, eyes narrowing. It's perfect for my Tang sword. With a thought, he channels code points, merging the inner flame into his weapon. From the shore, the others watch in disbelief. The blade drinks in the lava's power, flames coiling around him like a living storm. The blade blazed with scorching light before settling into his grip. From the sidelines, the others sighed in relief, assuming it was nothing more than a minor cultivation hiccup. The surrounding spiritual energy steadied, inviting them to resume their training. He felt the change instantly. The energy now flowed cleanly into his body. Others noticed too, voices tinged with excitement at the prospect of finally stepping onto the path of cultivation. The blonde stepped forward, volunteering to keep watch while the rest focused. Gratitude was quickly voiced, but her vigilance caught movement. More pioneers were approaching. Heavy footsteps echoed as a bare-chested man appeared, his tone dripping with disdain. "Where'd you weaklings crawl out from? This land's ours." Her face tightened. They were all Ghost Axe Realm 1-star, too strong for them to handle. Xiaoya's eyes narrowed. Engaging them isn't wise. "Sorry," she said evenly. "We found this place first. My friend's absorbing the spiritual energy. You can join if you like." Her calm offer was met with a sneer. "You little whelp! Just a Ghost Axe newbie and you dare talk about us! Clear off before I make you!" Xiaoya's jaw tightened. She knew all too well. This era favoured the strong, while the weak were trampled. Still, as part of the association, she had a duty. A shadow stepped in beside her. "Yo!" His voice was casual, but the glint in his eyes was anything but. "Big and tough, yet all you can manage is picking on a girl." The brute blinked, confusion cutting through his arrogance. Then the Tang sword ignited, flames coiling as the newcomer slashed, the air exploding in a storm of heat and force. The thug roared for everyone to back off, but a blazing slash erupted, forcing him and his men to stumble away from the searing heat. One of the onlookers stared wide-eyed, barely getting the words out, wondering what had just happened. Fang's gaze stayed cold. Too many cultivators thrived on the idea of survival of the fittest, leading to needless tragedies. Words alone wouldn't make them back down. He drove his golden blade into the ground, the impact cracking stone as heat rippled outward. "Scram," he ordered. The brute's face twisted in disbelief. A second explosion? What kind of monster is this? Panic took over. "Run!" he bellowed, bolting with his men. The others stared in stunned silence until one finally grinned. "Bro, you're awesome! That sword slash was insane!" He waved it off with a small smile. They were just too over the line. "Looks like everyone's done cultivating. Shall we go?" "Yeah," someone nodded. "The spiritual energy here's stabilized. Let's move on." But behind narrowed glasses, another thought lingered. If that strike had really landed, there'd only be charred corpses here now. He must be a top-tier pioneer with a high-level attribute and terrifying talent. I need to report this. At the Spiritual Energy Cultivation Association office, Jaya reports over the phone. "Are you saying another high-attribute pioneer has appeared?" The voice on the other end asks sharply, "What do you mean, another?" Nothing. She's instructed, "Document it and inform me immediately of any developments." After hanging up, her colleague muses, "Could we be super lucky? 2 high-attribute pioneers in a row?" The older man scoffs. "Lucky? Every high-attribute individual holds high status, earns respect, and soon sits near the centers of power. This is gonna be tough," he mutters. "I want to resign." Meanwhile, under the sun, Fang walks through the street, drawing stares and whispers from onlookers. That guy cosplaying as Brother K is so handsome. That sword looks real. Wonder where he got it. One voice says with awe, "He's the man among men, the ruler of men, the pinnacle." Fang, dressed in a cloak, reads something on his phone. Reading an article on his phone, Fang Yi noted the dramatic headlines about golden light and dragons near Wenling Old Cave. He knew it was the inner flame's energy, its heat bound to draw attention. His mind raced. Could Zhang Xiao Ya have been exposed? With the Yang-type spiritual energy he'd absorbed, one more cycle of the golden sun breathing technique might trigger another breakthrough. There was no time to dwell. He headed straight for the back mountain. 5 minutes later, behind his house, Su Qingying, the garden restoration expert, wiped sweat from her brow and dropped her shovel. Finally done, she sighed. She caught sight of a sudden blazing light in the distance, eyes narrowing in alarm. The surge of power rolling off it was overwhelming. It had to be coming from the mountain. Her gaze fixed on the spiraling flames above, thoughts raced. Were they on the verge of breaking through to 3-star Ghost Axe realm? Could such a breakthrough really stir up this level of chaos? The sheer intensity made her jaw tighten. This is beyond monstrous, she thought, before springing into motion. She had to see for herself. As she dashed forward, her mind flashed with a name. Could it be him? No, surely not. Regardless, she clenched her teeth. I must catch you. Golden energy spirals upward into the dark clouds, forming a radiant, lotus-like symbol above him. He kneels within a blazing formation, hands pressed together in deep concentration. The golden aura intensifies, wrapping around his body as his eyes glow fiercely. A clear sign he's drawing in and refining massive amounts of spiritual power for a breakthrough. From a distance, she watched the divine axe suspended mid-air, encircled by blazing energy. He's trying to sync with the divine axe, she thought, stunned by his stability. How can he control spiritual energy with such precision? Her mind flashed back, her own failed attempt, blood coughed for days after the backlash. Even someone like me couldn't do it. Where did this freak come from? Golden flames roared as he channeled overwhelming power into the weapon, every surge refined as though forged through thousands of trials. Su Qingying watches in shock, her thoughts racing. This wasn't just an extraordinary fighter. His composure and precision felt like that of a god-sent master from ancient times. While most would rush in desperation upon nearing a breakthrough, he advanced steadily with unshakable focus. Suddenly, the divine axe radiated with intense power, its aura shifting eastward. Golden light surged around him, his body engulfed in crackling energy as the ground trembled. He had broken through, advancing to Ghost Axe Realm 2-star. She skidded to a halt, breathing hard. No. The golden torrent twisted away, his presence already gone. I missed him again? It's only been 30 seconds. Grinding her teeth, she thought, if I'm not mistaken, he's always one step ahead. I've been tracking him for days. Won't he be impossible to recruit like this? Then a flicker of movement caught her eye. Wait a second. Light streamed through the trees, outlining a lone figure. Senior, I assume you haven't left yet. Have you? His eyes widened. Huh? She's the one who's been investigating me these past few days. She straightened her back. I am the captain of the first squad under the Spiritual Energy Cultivation Association of the Xia Nation. I'm also one of their great pioneers. On behalf of the association, I sincerely invite you. She explained that she'd been following him for the past 2 days, hoping he might join the official association, assuring that all documents were already prepared. He simply asked, why? Caught off guard, she hesitated, debating whether to tell the truth, then admitted that Xia Nation wanted to gather early pioneers, guide them and provide extra protection. He listened quietly, then remarked that while joining might seem restrictive, they all had to face the resurgence of spiritual energy and unknown enemies together. Finally, he added, if I told you I'm unwilling, I still can't fully trust you yet. Her eyes widened slightly, uncertain how to respond. Su Qingying quickly introduces herself, declaring she was an athlete before the spiritual energy revival. She holds up her association ID, urging him to believe her. The man studies her, recalling faint memories. Yes, he's seen her before. Inwardly, he notes how naturally gifted individuals like her easily become pioneers, explaining her remarkable speed. His expression shifts as memories of a ruined city flash in his mind. In his past life, the Shah Nation failed its mission, leading to humanity's extinction. Now, armed with his system, he knows he must eventually join the game, but the timing still isn't right. Aloud, he tells her, "I really do remember you, so I'll think about it," before leaping away into the trees. He tells her to keep his location secret for now. From her behavior, he deduces the association doesn't currently pose a threat to strong pioneers like him, something he can use to his advantage. She admits the association noticed changes after his breakthrough and proposes filing a half-truth report. He agrees. As he departs, she calls out, but he's already gone. Alone in the forest, she laments how many times she's failed to catch him, realizing he's avoiding her. She sighs about constantly erasing traces of his presence, then steels herself, deciding it's better to focus on her current mission outside. Someone reports that anomalous entities have resurfaced. Monstrous, bloodthirsty creatures born from polluted zones after the surge of spiritual energy. Some are ancient evils. Others mutated into human-devouring beasts. While a few disguise themselves as disasters, killing indiscriminately and dividing territories, only to spawn more pollution zones. If left unchecked, they'll bring mass destruction and consume the human world. Meanwhile, heavy rain lashes down, thunder cracking across the sky. An alert warns civilians to avoid the area unless absolutely necessary, with the Yuling Mountain tourist zone now closed due to extreme danger. Rain poured over the city, lightning tearing across the sky. Fang Yi's gaze swept the streets below. What an enormous concentration of lightning energy. Majestic, wild, and furious, he thought, following the pull of the storm. His eyes narrowed, but the center of the storm is. He landed silently, staring at the towering peak ahead. There. With a single leap, he vanished into the rain, heading straight for the mountain. He darts through the rain-soaked forest, system alerts flashing. A pollution zone has been detected at Yuhuan Mountain. The towering peak looms ahead, shrouded in dead trees and a heavy, ominous mist. Pollution level, unknown. His hood shadowing his face, he steps into the corrupted zone, then suddenly stops. Eyes narrow. A surge of blue lightning erupts before him, splitting the darkness. He looks up. A colossal pillar of lightning pours from the heavens, its glow reflecting off his cloak. The monitoring team reports a sharp rise in Mount Yuang's danger level due to spiritual energy concentration. An official confirms it must be closed off immediately and classified as a contamination zone, explaining they pulled Qing Ying from another mission due to the urgency. When asked for updates, Qing Ying explains that approaching the mountain is currently impossible. Thunder-type energy has reached a critical point. The site is now an A-level contamination zone, potentially even S-level, which would demand national emergency measures. She adds that based on past explorer data, no one has the capability to get close, not even herself. Even S-rank explorers would face a 100% mortality rate. The order is given to seal the base of the mountain immediately and deploy patrols to stop anyone from entering. The older man in the office states firmly, "Agreed. We must eliminate the threat at its root. Let's seal the mountain completely." He explains that the contamination zone is fresh, spiritual energy at its peak. No one is allowed inside until the levels drop, at which point they'll reassess. Meanwhile, a violent crack of blue lightning tears into the ground. Through the smoke and rain, the hooded man emerges, golden energy swirling around him. Luckily, I've got the yin-yang breathing technique, he thinks, eyes locked ahead. But it's not enough. To get the purest thunder energy, I need to reach the storm's art, Mount Yuhang's peak itself. He moves through the storm, mind-focused. With the revival of spiritual energy, humanity faces new threats. If they don't act, they'll be swept aside. Even nature's shifts could turn deadly. In the future, fiercer, more bizarre entities will appear. Creatures even seasoned cultivators may fail to overcome. Though he's mastered the yin-yang breathing technique, and forged the flaming sword imbued with solar and fire properties. He knows relying solely on a weapon is dangerous. True strength must come from within. Now the thunder energy raging here is a rare gift, perfect for tempering his body again. To grow stronger, he must seize opportunities hidden within nature's upheavals. Otherwise, he'll be crushed under the weight of coming disasters. Lightning crackles madly in the storm, his eyes burning gold as he grips his blazing sword. With a sharp motion, he cleaves into the raging energy, thunder and flame colliding in a deafening blast. A guttural scream rips from his throat, body straining against the violent surge. Blue arcs erupt around him, tearing through the air before fading into the downpour. Breathing hard, he steadies himself, the golden blade still humming with power. This thunder's essence, a remnant of divine punishment itself. He braces himself, feeling the crushing pressure of the thunder energy pushing at the limits of his domain. It wants him to kneel. How do I make it submit to me? Forcing himself to focus, he recalls the system's warning. He must touch the energy directly. His eyes flare. I've got it! He unleashes the Jin-Yang breathing technique at full power, golden light roaring around him. With a battle cry, he hurls himself into the descending bolt. Blue and gold collide in a violent explosion, energy tearing through the air. I am who I am. I stand at the very peak. His grip tightens, voice like steel. Face death to live. He crashes down, the impact splitting the ground apart. Above, a colossal torrent of thunder energy spirals, its sheer force making his muscles seize with every breath. It's trying to kill me, but his eyes lock on the raging storm, golden with defiance. A massive bolt lashes out, pure, unrestrained destruction. Detected, powerful thunder attribute, drafting in progress, flashes across the monitoring system. In a distant control room, onlookers stare at the storm. I've never seen lightning this big in my life. Could it be a deity forging a lightning trial? One mutters, eyes narrowing. Another voice trembles. If that hits the city, will it wipe everything out? He channels a surge of power, golden lightning and fierce intent coursing through him. As his system declares, he's obtained refined divine thunder power. Lightning coils around his form, the system announcing his body has been tempered in divine fire, granting him points. He reflects on how rare this strength is, forged from merging the sun and thunder attributes without harming their purity. Thunder is my spear and my shield. The storm answers, raw thunder energy brimming in his palm. He senses its righteous wrath, capable of obliterating corruption. The system prompts, should he embed this attribute into an item? He hesitates. Adding it to Tang's sword might amplify its power, but risk corrupting the sun attribute. Excess infusion could damage the blade entirely. Then his eyes flash with resolve. I've got it. I'll implant it into my right hand instead. The system awaits his confirmation. Yes or no? He smirks. Yes. Blue lightning crackles over his body, surging into his right hand. The next day, at Yuhong Peak, a soldier steps forward. Captain Han, the situation's shifted. The energy concentration dropped from peak to safe levels in just 3 hours. But there's still a residual electric charge in the air. Another officer stands the ground, green light flickering from his gauntlet. Someone's been here. A seeker. Su Qingying's eyes widen. What? Another seeker? Is he alive? She crouches, examining the soaked ground. I can't sense his attributes or tell when he left. Might have been a while, and last night's rains erased all traces. Most likely, he slipped away around 8 p.m. Rain pattered against their uniforms as she asked, why? The officer's voice was steady. The disturbance began around 8 in the evening. We sealed the mountain's base shortly after. If you made it up there, it was before the lockdown. Otherwise, we'd have spotted him. Her brow furrowed. Didn't the instruments predict the contamination's peak at 9? They did. The readings showed it would spike then, but strangely, the density dropped right after. Whoever was there not only survived the lightning, but may have gained power from it. He glanced at the crackling sky. This was no accident. It could have been a calculated move to align with the forces of nature. Her eyes narrowed. And if we don't know where his loyalties lie, then he's dangerous, the officer finished. If he's a threat, he must be found fast. Somewhere else, the man in question sneezed over a cup of tea. The officer's final order rang out. From now on, his code name is the Tyrant. We're hoping the Union can recruit the Tyrant quickly. We'll keep the news under wraps and confirm things fast. As expected, another replied. But there's also a high-ranking applicant trying to contact him. Su King-ying, hand your report to Major Han. Ah, she stiffened, heart skipping. This is the same applicant who cleared the A-class pollution anomaly at Chingcheng University's North Gate, Han explained. Panic flashed in her eyes. I'm finished. I can't let my identity slip. Han continued. I examined the corpse of the mutant beast he killed. If I'm right, he possesses a scorching solar attribute. I'll try to get close to him and learn how he managed that feat. Oh no. I told them half-truths so they'd believe me. If I'd stayed silent, I'd look suspicious. Either way, exposure means disaster. Rain runs off Major Han's cap as he murmurs, a solar element. He nods. Good work, Su King-ying. The younger generation must keep pushing forward. She smiles. You're overpraising me, sir. It's my duty. An officer adds, we'll say it's a natural disaster for now. Han's gaze hardens. I'd rather not publicize spiritual energy changes. The wrong people might exploit it. A short chuckle. Well, finally over, she sighs. Night at Fang Yi's home. He lifts a freshly dried white coat. Golden sun breeding technique. After adding the thunder attribute, the change is clear, he says, pulling it on. Sparks flicker over his right hand. My body's transformed. This arm feels unshakable. A faint grin. I'm close to a breakthrough. Glue lightning hums in his palm. Strange. The thunder attribute was so fierce before, but now it's calm, easy to control. He recalls his first use of the soda attribute. Pain sharp enough to tear through bone. Guess the thunder's been tempered after my body absorbed it. A quick check confirms it. 300% critical damage to evil anomalous entities. His lips curl. Can't wait to test it. A notification pings. He glances at his phone. What's happening now? After the last incident, he'd set all alerts to the top. Emergency warnings flash, a tempting lure for an adventurer like him. Even if it costs me my life, I have to try. His eyes narrow at the headline. Explosion at chemical factory. No casualties. Orange flames billow across the factory skyline as the news blares. Explosion at a chemical plant causes environmental contamination. Investigations underway. Fang Yi's eyes narrow. Pollution at this scale. Hard not to be suspicious. Online chatter floods his feed. Some calling it eerie, others scoffing at the supernatural talk. One line catches him. A sinister, cold smell. His fingers still. I know that scent. A low growl echoes in his mind. The memory hits. Dark alleys, trembling breath. That thing from my past life. In the vision, a hulking rat beast prowls closer, red eyes burning. He freezes. No, don't move. The creature's growl deepens, fangs glistening under the crimson light. Could it be it? He stays silent, gaze hardening. Those things, they thrive in darkness, coming alive at night. The scene shifts. Thick webs and crimson-eyed creatures lurk in the shadow. Rain lashes down as the strike team tears through the city, the leader's voice sharp over comms. It's known for melting into darkness, hides itself well. Once it closes in, it paralyzes prey, feeds on their life force, and finishes them quick. In this weather, it'll definitely start feeding. We can't let that happen. In the operations center, red lights flash. Additional intel on file number 7, Candlelight Night uploaded. Orders snap through the room. Extermination request upgraded to priority B. Deadline 12 hours. The comms crackle again. Extermination team, keep tracking, but survival comes first. Above the rain-slick streets, the team dives, lightning flashing in their wake. Got it? 12 hours isn't quick, the hooded man mutters, eyes fixed on the glowing city map. But it's the fastest headquarters can manage. The network of red markers pulses. The country's vast, and mutations are everywhere. They're stretched thin. A voice cuts in sharply. What? The area you're approaching had the rain poured steadily as a man narrowed his eyes up at the figure above. This your fault? You're trying to make me work overtime? We're not just talking about overtime. The target's the anomaly Candlelight Night, the one that devours humans. She frowned. Is this how you ask for help? She tilted her head. If the extermination team's strong enough, you don't need us. She turned to leave. Team Ying, withdraw. A junior muttered under his breath. She's really going to leave them to get eaten. Fine by me. Dangerous missions are nothing new. Wait! The man stepped forward quickly. I was too hasty. Please, help us find its location. Without your tracking, we'll be flying blind. If we die, fine. The whole city will go down with us. Rain lashes the rooftops as the squad stands in a line, eyes scanning the cityscape. A faint blue glow ignites in one operative's palm. We've found it. This way. The orb spins, releasing a spiral of light that streaks into the distance, straight toward a hulking shadow. The anomaly crouches in the rain, eyes glowing crimson, jaw slick with its last kill. File number 7, Julie, favors dark, damp places and eating humans. Understood. Su Qingying replies coolly. Sabotage team, commence operation! The creature twitches, then bolts. Target has detected our presence. Sabotage team, initiate pursuit immediately. Rain lashes down as the hunters fan out, shadows cutting through the storm. East, north, west, south. A sharp order follows, full encirclement, and their figures close in on the beast. It pivots, hackles raised, but one cloaked figure soars overhead, blade flashing white. The strike lands clean, forcing the creature back with a guttural snarl. Rain lashes down as the hulking beast barrels forward, darkness swirling in its wake. Su Qingying's voice cuts through the chaos. Watch out for the counterattack. Keep away from the front. A fierce gust spirals down, halting the creature's charge, just in time. Kamanda, are you all right? A voice calls from the side. Breathing hard, the man steadies himself. As expected, Zhu Yi's strength is terrifying. If we hadn't moved quickly, we'd be rubble right now. His gaze narrows on the monster's glowing form. With that much raw power, plus the darkness attribute, if it's left unchecked, this city's finished. The beast's chest swells before it blasts a wave of virulent green energy into the ground. He's trying to burrow out, a soldier shouts. Commander Su, this is corrosive dark energy. It'll eat through anything it touches. And we don't have enough high-grade counteragents to stop it. Even if it hits the ground, it won't be able to make a tunnel straight away. Keep the sabotage team in formation. Everyone stay alert. Our main job now is to gather live intel and adjust the battle plan. A figure readies his blade, eyes locked ahead as a pair of crimson lights flare in the dark. A soldier screams as a bat-like beast lunges down with a snarl. Don't let it get away. Chase it now. The team darts after the creature as it streaks upward, trailing sickly green light. The spiritual energy here just shot up. You lot stay outside. I'll head in. Understood? Let me check the spiritual energy concentration first. Is this the new auxiliary device from the association? That's right. It measures down to the minimum a single team can handle. A moment ago, Zhuyi's level was 48. Wait, it just spiked past 80 and it's still climbing fast. Looks like there's more than one anomaly here. Dark shapes drop from above, glowing green eyes glaring down. This is bad. There's another aberrant creature. Zhuyi brought it here on purpose. Fall back. We can't stay here long. We'll head for the gate. If we can stop it there, we'll pin it. Location, with our combined strength, we can reopen the gate. This way. A sharp cry as one's vision blurs, gas flooding their body. My eyes, no, my senses, my whole body's been poisoned. Are you all right? No answer. It's like I'm alone in this factory. They must be close, but I can't sense them, and they can't sense me either. If I remember right, Zhu Yi deliberately led me to this factory, a place like this. No, actually, this is the lair of another aberrant. I sensed something wasn't right since we stepped in. Zhu Yi knew this gas would spread once we were inside, and now it's everywhere. The toxin has a numbing effect and accelerates spiritual energy drain. If I keep breathing it, I'll be finished. My energy's already dropping. Without protection, my body will be a corpse soon. What kind of plan is this, deliberately luring in enemies and hitting them with such cunning? Is this the end? Light bursts. From above, the roof shattering as debris rains down. Through the dust, a figure dives in, eyes locked on her. Debris crashes down as he lands, the ground cracking beneath him. From the shadows, a serpent-like creature with glowing green eyes slithers forward. So it's an aberrant of the darkness type. I swoops in, jaws wide. He blocks, but is slammed back, blood spraying. Gwag! I get it. There are two aberrants here. One goes for living prey. The other spreads poison gas to wear them down. I am borrowing your spiritual power temporarily without permission. You really like biting, huh? Thunder Sate Lightning. Your turn now. You afraid of fire? The beast roars and lunges, but he meets it head on, blade crackling with power. Watch the blade. The strike tears through its maw, yet the creature twists, pulling back as its form warps into multiple heads glowing with venomous green light. As expected, there's a hidden move. Lightning ripped through the air, striking the serpent head on, its body convulsing under the surge. Until I gained this power, I hadn't fought something with better senses than me. Now while its pain dulls the flow of spiritual energy, I'll burn it to ash in the next moment. With an anomaly like Zhu Yi, they lure foes into traps, but their real advantage lies in cunning setups. One opening and you're finished. But this snake scales. As I thought, it's a crafty one. Even while taking hits, its fangs and poison remain lethal. The venom spreads fast, killing without a sound. But I can feel it, the weakness in the core. I can use my own technique to break it. The twin flame attribute with the lightning attribute will push my body to the limit. These two combined sharpen my nerves, kill my pain, and let me counter every strike. For most people, even with defensive abilities, this poison would be fatal. These serpent types rely on toxic clouds to weaken their prey before finishing them off. Zhu Yi's coordination with it makes them lethal to elite hunters. It's likely claimed the lives of many who never even joined the official teams. But no matter how cunning or vicious it is, it'll still burn to ash now. The snake writhes in the flames, his fire piercing through its core until it collapses. Guess my combat skills are still among the best in the Vanguard. He turns, eyes narrowing. Someone's still. Here! Through the smoke, a figure coughs weakly. Her from the association sue something. Oi, drop the act. You're rubbish at playing dead. She groans, saying she only choked on the stench and wasn't faking. Strong for someone who got caught up in all this without warning. If you had no power, you'd be ashes like the rest. Thanks, I guess. I really did flare up my strength earlier. And he noticed, but I have no clue how he defeated that giant snake. You don't need to worry about it if you can't match someone's levy yet. His attitude's more approachable than last time. It's late. Since you and your team are safe, I'll be off. Hey, wait. No need. Too many people talking. I'll leave the cleanup to you. Good thing she didn't see me trying to absorb the dark element earlier. That discomfort. And chill was foul. Maybe my body resisted the aura and forced it out. Even the system stayed silent. Forget it. I'll think on it later. Shame I didn't get a proper look at her face. Seems she still keeps her guard up around the association. Hey, wake up! It's over! Ugh, we got ambushed. What's going on? Where's all this pure yang energy coming from? A Vanguard came to help us. I think he's my target. My mission was to find a Vanguard with a rare, high-tier yang attribute. I haven't confirmed it yet, but I suspect it's him. Last time he misled us, but this time he saved us. To solo Zhu Yi and that giant serpent? What kind of monster is that? Speaking of which, where's Zhu Yi's corpse? Let's clean the scene and send the remains to the association. Hiss, what brutal energy. But this leftover lightning is far too strong. This is Zhu Yi's corpse. The theory fits. If his attribute was purely yang. Don't tell me that man fought two aberrants alone and killed them both at the same time. No, that's not it. How do I even explain? There was only one person here. If I said he had control over two top-tier attributes, just one would make someone a genius. A Vanguard with dual high-level powers is practically unheard of. Flamewalker of the Sun, Thunder Tyrant. What kind of monster is he? Good thing I had my team waiting outside. If I'd stayed longer, the association would have been alerted. The association sent investigators expecting to recover our bodies. Now they're scanning residual spirit energy and piecing together the battle before reporting back. Captain, based on the traces and attack patterns, there's a 99% chance both anomalies were killed by the same person. So it really was a dual high-level attribute vanguard. Either of those powers alone could have wiped us out. Yeah, and that guy took them down instantly. My target. Resurfaced and the data's been updated. I need to report to HQ. Got it. Both the Tyrant and the North Gate of Ching-Cheng University are within my watch. Suspend your mission for now. The silver-haired officer says he saved your lives, cleared the anomalies, secured the area, clearly not our enemy. He ants for safety and to make a good impression, thank him for now. She replies, I have a theory. Back on Rock Mountain, before the Tyrant leveled up, I felt an incredibly strong aura. I suspected a spirit weapon, but it seemed unlikely. Now we know he's a dual high attribute vanguard. He asks, a spirit weapon. She nods, yes, but controlling one without help is near impossible. Investigators also found spirit energy at the scene. She continues, I sensed pure yang energy. If he's a spirit creator, he made it himself. Less than 5 exist, but if he's triple attribute, it changes everything. Attributes repel each other. No vanguard has had 3 at once. If he does, and it ties to the weapon, it could shift the entire balance. Fang Yi thought to himself, he just hoped a powerful vanguard like that wouldn't one day become humanity's enemy. It had been less than a year since the official spirit energy reveal, yet anomalies and disasters were already on the rise. Many vanguards like him had begun training on their own, and without national recognition, most were already reaching Ghost Axe Stage 1. The state was friendly toward wild vanguards, but anomalies were still under control, with no major conflicts between vanguards. The government quietly warned the public, but once this knowledge spread, chaos, riots, and mass deaths would follow. In the end, he knew human fear was far more terrifying than any monster. Was this riot planned? The anomalies here are stronger than I expected. Touching the black aura, I felt the shadow attribute tied to the dark one, and I can't absorb it. 3 anomalies together is rare. They'll even set traps to ambush vanguards. While not as bad as Dark Yin types, they can still destroy nations. If I hadn't found that team first, they'd be dead. The sub-attribute alone is nasty, but paired with full dark, it's overwhelming. Since I can't absorb it, maybe I could use my Yang flame to burn it out and turn it into strength. It could even shift the battle. The Yang also powers my flame lightning technique, but it's still far from enough. In the middle of his brainstorming, his phone buzzing. Aunt, why are you calling so suddenly? She checks on his health and tells him his cousin is visiting, asking if she can stay with him instead of a hotel. He's caught off guard, barely remembers her apart from being a top student. Agrees to let her stay and asks when she'll arrive. Aunt says she'll send the address, so the cousin can come by herself. Cut to the cousin told to bring snacks for Zhao Yi and agrees. She's thinking the hotel was fine, but is surprised when the address is in Yanghuo town. She starts packing, but says she doesn't want to trouble her cousin, only for her guardian to insist it's safer with him than anywhere else. A guardian warns her not to cause trouble at Zhao Yi's place, and to help out when possible. She assures she knows, thinking to herself that dealing with her cousin will be easier than facing anomalies. The next day, she arrives in the city, suitcase in hand, following directions on her phone until she reaches her destination. Looking up at the building, she confirms, this should be the place. Fang Yu arrives at the house and is greeted by a girl who calls out softly, cousin. He pauses, then asks straight to the point, you're Lin Yi. She nods without a word, and he studies her carefully before she confirms she is here for the summer camp. Later, as they sit across from one another, she offers him the spare key, explaining her room is opposite his. Fang Yi accepts politely, saying he'll be in her care for the time being. She walks off and he notes she seems easy to get along with, but decides not to pry further. Yet his sharp senses catch something strange earlier. When she was near him, he felt a faint trace of spiritual energy, almost impossible to miss. Could it be she too has awakened as a forerunner? Her excuse? About a summer camp might just be a cover. Fang Yi's suspicion deepens as he recalls the subtle energy aura still lingering around her form. Lin Yi scrolls quickly through her phone, a worried look crossing her face. If cousin notices, it will be hard to explain. She decides to hide her cultivation progress. 3 days later, Fang Yi sits in meditation, golden light blazing around him. The golden sun breathing technique shines so brightly he worries it might be spotted. Why now, when she's just across the hall? Suddenly, Lin Yi calls from outside. "Cousin, dinner's ready." She walks in, carrying steaming plates. Fan Yi blinks at the spread: tomato beef brisket, cold cucumber salad, corn, pork rib soup. At the table, he offers, "You are too polite. Every day, I will handle the dishes." She smiles gently and says it is her duty. Fang Yi studies her silently. So polite, flawless manners, doing housework like she has OCD. He eats, watching carefully. The more I let her do this, the more she lowers her guard. Only then can I glimpse her true nature. Lin Yi looks up curiously. What is wrong? Is it a friend? Fang Yi leaves the table quietly, telling them to keep chatting as he heads back to his room. His cousin watches in silence, thinking deeply. Then she takes a call, arranging to meet in Yanghuo town the next afternoon. Fang Yi listens from the balcony, confirming his suspicions. His cousin too carries spiritual energy. She hides it well, but not from him. With her current level, she shouldn't be able to detect his presence. She sits in meditation, spiritual energy swirling around her. Even though she is still a high schooler, her control is refined, her talent obvious. Fang Yi wonders if her excuse about summer camp was a cover for this great oracle event. She must have heard the same rumors and used them to slip away. He considers her motives, but also his own. If such rare attributes appear at Yanghuo town, he plans to claim them, no matter what. Leaping into the night, his determination sharpens. Whatever power shows up, it will belong to him. Under the pale moon, Lin Yi sits in silence, feeling the flow of energy around her. A strange sensation brushes past her, leaving her uneasy. Was it just her imagination? Or was someone watching? She steadies herself, but the doubt lingers. Dawn breaks over Yanghuo town. The streets fill with chatter and life at the gates. Lin Yi walks beside a friend who teases her about her cousin. She answers softly, saying he's a good person, nothing extraordinary, just ordinary. Her mind hides the truth. She knows gossip passes between the girls. One sighs in disappointment, another chuckles, mentioning how Yi always downplays herself, calling her face ordinary. Lady Hang smirks, reminding them not to judge too quickly. With the group gathered, the leader calls them to business. One member wonders aloud if the missing girl will join this time. The answer is no. Still just the 6 of them. Lady Hang notes calmly. She's always mysterious, and they are used to it. Fang Yi sits quietly sipping tea, watching from above as his cousin's team gathers below. He notes how low-key they seem, but quickly realizes the weakest among them has already reached Ghost Act stage, and the strongest is even higher. Clearly, this team hides true strength. His gaze sharpens, sensing a stronger presence lurking behind them. And then, on the distant mountain, something extraordinary happens. A colossal vine descends from the sky, piercing the earth like a pillar. Its sudden appearance reminds him of Jack and the Beanstalk. The vine shimmers, unpredictably appearing and vanishing at random, unlike anything vanguards have seen before. It radiates an aura that defies understanding, shaking the world with silent power. The sight leaves everyone in awe, and Lady Hang whispers with shock in her eyes, "Oh my God, that's it." The group moves closer to the towering vine. One mutters, "If I hadn't seen it myself, I would never believe it." Another suddenly halts, saying, "Wait, something feels wrong." Lin Yi looks over, curious, and asks, "What's wrong?" The woman clenches her fist, explaining, "Only after standing here do I feel a strange pull, like it's calling to me." She asks if they saw the rumors on the internal forum. Lady Hang crosses her arms, eyes sharp. She admits she knows someone who was in that team last time they touched the vine. And none returned. All of them, forerunners, stronger than most with high. Realms, the scene shifts to twisted roots and skulls tangled in the vine. The grim truth of those who vanished. The group stares uneasily, tension thick. The woman whispers, "I fear we may end up like them." A chilling line echoes in the darkness. No grave to be found. The group stands before the towering vine. One woman admits she thought she could accept the Forerunner's gamble, but seeing it in person filled her with instinctive fear. She feels this is a powerful, unknown anomaly, a heaven and earth threat. She trembles, saying she's not ready to bury everything here and wants to quit. Another woman responds calmly, acknowledging that they all feel the same unease. Lin Yi steps forward and explains, inside this wood-attributed vine is a desolate aura. It feels like sinking into the long river of time. Everything perishing life. Drained away, she clenches her fist, declaring this is the path of martial pioneers. Fan Yi stands at the edge, watching the vine stretch into the clouds. Heavy death energy rolls from it. He frowns, realizing it should be a symbol of life, but instead it reeks of decay. The people who once cultivated here must have been desperate or fearless. It looks alive, yet feels dead, a fake thing, dressed in spiritual energy. Yi steps forward, rallying everyone. She tells them there is no time to hesitate. They must focus and stay sharp. Yi orders the team to remain in sight and not wander too far. She sets her spot and begins to meditate, wrapped in a glowing sphere of energy, her power, steady. Fang Yi keeps watch over them, his gaze sharp as he senses the aura around the vine. Something unnatural, something off. Fang Yi watches as Yi channels her power, her cultivation already brushing the threshold of 3 stars. The others are stunned. Ghost at 3 stars. Amazing, she's already this strong. But before the ore settles, the ground shakes. Vines pulse and rise. Not good, one shouts. The vine spotted us. Panic erupts as roots whip through the air. Go-ah! Screams echo as the vines lash wildly, their desolate aura thick and suffocating. We must not let them wrap around us, or the aura will cling and melt us alive. A girl cries, "Ah, help me!" Her fear pierces the chaos, while Yi stays in. Meditation wrapped in her sphere. The others panic, shouting, "We can't leave! Yi will be in danger!" Another voice, desperate, says, "If she keeps forcing her power, she will risk her life just to reach the next star level." The red-haired woman shouts for everyone to calm down. Other guy warns that life and death are decided in heaven and that acting rashly will only bring doom. But another refuses, saying she won't abandon her teammate. Tension builds as Fang Yi watches, realizing his cousin might not even understand the true danger she's in. Still a student, she pushes her cultivation beyond limits. But time is slipping away. Inside the entangling vines, she struggles. Against the devouring energy, Fang Yi clenches his fist, remembering his promise to his aunt. He swore to protect her. A vow. He cannot break while chaos erupts below. His resolve hardens. Yet, as the vines thrash violently, another comrade is ensnared. Screams echo as the monstrous plant tightens its grip. Despair spreads fast. But Fang Yi knows he cannot falter. Fang Yi descends from the sky, flames blazing around him, his golden spear cutting through the thick vine as it lashes about in fury. The others watch with wide eyes as the explosion lights up the ground. Yi, they cry out, but Fang Yi lands before her, shielding her with fire. The vine screeches, pulling back, retreating under his power. The blazing aura forces it to recoil, like a beast sensing death. The ground cracks as Fang Yi rises once more, spear in hand, his figure outlined in golden fire. Awe spreads through the group. Someone whispers, "Is this also a Forerunner?" The Yang attribute is something rare even among anomalies, something that could overturn fortune itself. He recalls how proud he once was, rising to 3 stars quickly. But now when compared to Fang Yi, even Lin Yi, his progress feels small. He clenches his fist and admits bitterly that if beings like Fang Yi exist, then what are they but mere stars beside the bright moon? His pride shatters as he declares that Fang Yi has crushed him, crushed every Forerunner. Fang Yi, meanwhile stands amidst golden flames, his power surging. The system marks compilation successful. Extreme wood attribute detected. He gained a terrifying vitality, a technique that allows him to absorb all nearby life force instantly, healing any wound. His crimson eyes glint as he realizes the scale of his gift. This is a power that makes him nearly unstoppable. As long as there is life around, it's like a perpetual machine constantly recharging. Fang Yi's system confirms another revelation. The extracted attribute is Desolation, a corrosive power that devours all vitality around him. His eyes glow green as energy coils at his feet. He mutters that it makes sense now. This vine could only thrive in such treacherous land because it endlessly feeds on the life around it. His expression hardens. If left unchecked, this desolation could drain entire forests, mountains, even oceans of their life force. The others stare at him in awe. One man bows gratefully, thanking him for saving their lives. The woman beside him adds that without his intervention, they'd all be dead. Her voice trembles with sincerity as she asks how they could ever repay him. Fang Yi turns away, his voice calm. No need till we meet again, he thinks to himself. He merely rode along their efforts to gain both the life force and desolation attribute. He was the one who truly profited. The others watch as he leaves. One man warns that it would be wiser to keep an eye on his cousin from now on. In desperate times, true natures surface. Fang Yi's speed leaves them stunned. One asks what to do now. Another scoffs, regretting not saving him earlier, but quickly adds that with the threat gone, Fang Yi is already leagues ahead. The best option is to stick close to him. Meanwhile, Lin Yi remains in meditation, her eyes glowing blue, energy swirling around her as she silently strengthens her cultivation. Lin Yi opens her eyes, energy fading as the group rushes to her side. Relieved that she's awake, one man insists that if she had not endured, they would have all perished. Yi takes in the scene, noticing the others on the ground and the lingering heat in the air. Her gaze sharpens, feeling the powerful yang attribute still burning, even from afar. Let me tell you what happened, he continues, his eyes narrowing. Here's how it went. In town, people whisper in shock. Someone that strong exists. They call it monstrous. The vine that resisted all their efforts was cut down with one slash. It shrinks back into the sky, too afraid to approach again. They realize this is intimidation, pure and overwhelming. Later, Fang Yi returns home. Yi greets him. He notices her face pale and asks if she's fine. She smiles, saying studying is exhausting. He tells her to rest and suggests ordering food. She agrees, quietly retreating to her room, alone. Yi reflects, cultivating drains her more than sleepless study. Yet, she endures, because she is no longer ordinary. She pushes forward, knowing the world is changing and she must change too. Fang Yi walks alone, determined. He admits, a normal life, like his cousins, is no longer possible. His path is already chosen. Lin Yi is stunned when the name Garen lights up in the group chat. She thinks it's the first time it has appeared. Garen warns if another terrifyingly strong one shows up, they must retreat. Yi asks if the man they met could be from the Black Source blood region. Garen replies, if it was really him, why save them? And ends with a warning. If you see him again during upheaval, retreat immediately. Fang Yi rides his bike at night, deep in thought. He reflects on the desolation attribute. Its nature, closer to plants, feeding on vitality, but also corrosive. He worries it may clash. With his thunder attribute, he recalls how the vine severed spiritual energy to evolve into desolation, and realizes the best way forward is to learn from it. His eyes narrow with resolve. He already knows where to go. Under the moon, Fang Yi rides swiftly, leaving the city behind, until the forest rises ahead. He stops at City Forest Park, leaving his bike by the tree, his gaze sharp on the moonlit meadow. He mutters, he must choose a plant that resonates most with his spiritual energy, a vessel to serve as the lucky one. He steps into a field of flowers, the glow of spiritual power surrounding him. Vines of green light coil about his body, surging like a storm. His aura flares and the plants answer him, swaying in rhythm with his power. Yet he frowns, sensing it is still not enough. He pushes harder. summoning more energy, the air thick with vitality. Then suddenly he pauses, his eyes narrowing as he realizes something. Under the moonlight, he walks into the forest, his eyes set on a glowing flower pulsing faintly with spiritual energy. He reaches out, feeling the aura tingle through his hand, and realizes it is the perfect vessel for the desolation attribute, small yet full of vitality. He decides this fragile flower will carry his power. Green energy swirls violently around him as the system prompts whether to forcefully implant the desolation attribute. With determination, he answers yes, his eyes burning emerald as the flower begins to transform under his control. Our lad Fang Yi lands with a burst of green energy, his power surging through the forest. The ground splits and the flowers around him bend under the pressure. He raises his gaze, spotting a strange flower glowing faintly. It stirs unnaturally, its roots pulsing with an eerie light. Fang Yi narrows his eyes. The plant swells, expanding in size as if feeding on the air itself. Thick roots twist outward, digging into the soil. He clenches his fist, thinking such a terrifying force. The aura of desolation clings to it like the breath of a demon. Fang Yi channels his energy, and in seconds the aura spreads across the forest, lighting up the entire park. He quickly realizes it is too eye-catching. If it continues like this, the Spirit Association will notice right away. He forces the plant to suppress itself and shrink, but even so, the energy lingers. He picks it up, planning to conceal it while moving deeper into the forest. He observes the plant still glowing despite being pulled from the soil. Its vitality remains strong, unlike any ordinary wildflower. Fang Yi thinks perhaps giving it the desolation attribute has awakened a chance for evolution. He clenches his fist, preparing to leave. But suddenly an alarm is triggered, warning abnormal values exceeding limit across the city. Inside the Spirit Association Research Department, red lights flash as staff panic over readings spiking out of control. Fang Yi dashes through the night, clutching the glowing plant, knowing he must escape before being discovered. Soldiers set up quarantine around the deadened forest. Their meters spike, showing spirit chi anomaly levels over 30. The air feels normal, yet every plant has withered in seconds. One soldier mutters, "The scale is terrifying, comparable to dark zones. The army only moves when anomalies surpass 10. Another confirms, this is unprecedented. They wonder aloud what attribute could drain vitality so quickly. One suggests moving closer when their commander shouts, "Not to approach." He recognizes it instantly. The desolation attribute. He explains, the vine hanging down from the heavens has already been classified as an A-level mutation. Its power alone, enough to devastate an entire region. The soldiers stand at the base of the massive vine, its dark aura spreading like a curse. Their leader explains it is marked as a level A threat because of its desolation attribute, which devours life for itself. Countless bodies have fallen, feeding its hunger. One soldier trembles, asking if stepping closer would have killed him. The teacher nods, explaining plants, awakened with desolation, turn entire zones into dead lands. Nothing survives within. He recalls records of a giant tree that consumed a whole forest, its corruption seeping through the ground. Heaven and earth changing mutated plants can no longer be underestimated. And now, aside from this vine and ancient tree, a new desolation source has appeared. Orders echo through the camp. Major Han arrives, taking charge. All researchers are instructed to gear up and follow into the contaminated zone. A scan runs over the area, but reports back no dissolution source detected. The investigation squad marches into the deadened forest, lights cutting through the night. One soldier mutters, "Wasn't it said only that vine could move about?" The aura is dropping in just minutes. Concentration fell to 25%. The commander orders, "Let's investigate." "Yes, sir," they reply. Two soldiers kneel, pressing their palms to the soil. Blue energy flows upward, revealing the truth. A stream of aura pulls skyward. Eyes widen in shock. Wait, this is the source. Was dug out? Another gasps. Dug out? Impossible! Suspicion spreads. If someone really managed to? Uproot a desolation source. Their identity must be highly dangerous. A man hands over a tablet with strange readings saying, Captain Han, there's no trace of that top-level ultimate spirit power here. Another explains, big data analysis pointed to a suspect whose movements matched both mutation incidents. The name appears Fang Yi. All his info will be sent to you. He's likely the problem you met earlier. How to proceed is your call. The white-haired woman replies, understood. Later, at home, Fang Yi sits at his desk with the glowing plant in a pot. He mutters, first time raising a flower. Can't believe I don't even have a proper pot. He adjusts it gently, saying, this is your home now, don't cling to me. The plant hums with energy. The system notes desolation powers will be useful in battle and create unexpected effects. Fang Yi smirks with such an ordinary look, no one will suspect it in combat. Looking weak is the best disguise, he thinks. Strength matters less than hidden cards. Just then, his phone buzzes. Next door, Old Wang. Fan Yi looks at his phone, surprised by a call from Old Wang, his childhood friend and neighbour from middle school. The two had been close like brothers, but parted ways when Wang suddenly left to join the army. On the other end, Wang laughs loudly, saying he's back and insists they grab a drink at the old spot. Fang Yi raises a brow at how sudden it is. Wang adds with excitement that he has a huge secret to share, warning Fang Yi not to faint when he hears it. Elsewhere, in a meeting room, an officer sets a phone down, reporting that the task was carried out, but she questions what happens if Fang Yi isn't the one they're after. How could they guarantee his safety? A stern superior cuts him off coldly, telling him to simply finish the mission without unnecessary concern, but adds, if Fan Yi turns out innocent as his friend, he should at least give him a word of warning. Cheers, they clink glasses together. Wang Liang laughs, saying he's had it rough in the army, but it made him more mature. Fan Yi listens quietly as his friend shares how much he's experienced in those 3 years. Fang Yi responds calmly, saying he went to vocational college. Nothing too grand, but it's fine in his heart. Though he thinks back to his past life, he never had the chance to meet Wang Liang again. Chaos that swallowed everything. His old friend had likely died as a soldier in some nameless battle. Fan Yi wonders if this time he can change Wang Liang's fate. Liang then leans forward, serious, asking if Fan Yi has run into anything strange lately, like zombies, monsters, or things out of films. Fang Yi studies him, thinking, this guy. It makes sense since Liang is in the army. He might know about the existence of spiritual energy. Still, Fang Yi narrows his eyes, asking what exactly his friend is trying to say. Fang Yi sits across from Wang Liang as he speaks seriously, saying, as long as you haven't awakened, I want to warn you not to be careless. Soon, ordinary diplomas will be worthless. Everything will be reshuffled. Soldiers will be drafted to maintain order. The revival of spiritual energy is real. Fang Yi realizes this meeting was a test sent by the military. Wang Liang was sent to sound him out. Wang Liang adds, don't worry, if you keep quiet, you'll be fine. Fang Yi only plays along, hiding his thoughts. Suddenly, Wang Liang's phone vibrates. An urgent recall order comes through. He's commanded to reach the target location within 10 minutes. Wang Liang stands abruptly, apologizing. Sorry, brother, the mission's urgent. I can't help it. Fang Yi watches him leave, thinking, is this tied to the revival of spiritual energy? Fang Yi suddenly speaks, let me come with you. Wang Liang turns in shock. Fang Yi calmly explains, wasn't this meeting arranged by your higher-ups too? Don't worry, I know you wouldn't harm me. Besides, I want to see what the army is really handling. It must be tied to the changes in heaven and earth. His eyes glint with resolve. But since the Spiritual Energy Association already manages anomalies, why is the army stepping in? Just as well, I'll find out the truth. The scene shifts to a heavily guarded military experimental zone. Spiritual energy here is so thick, it feels like a polluted zone. Soldiers stand in formation. Wang Liang announces, Wang Liang reporting in. The guards check his credentials. Verification passed. Enter. Fang Yi walks through the gates, beside him, determined to uncover what lies inside. The beast erupts from the ground, black scales glowing with streaks of blue lightning. Soldiers surround it, launching attacks, but the monster counters with a blast of red flame. cutting through their line. One soldier screams in pain. Fan Yi watches with sharp eyes, muttering, "This is a fusion attribute." The red-haired officer confirms. Darkness and flame combined, making the creature even more violent. She adds, "Several soldiers have already been gravely wounded." Suddenly she spots Wang Liang bringing Fan Yi into the restricted zone. She shouts, "How dare you bring?" In someone unapproved, Wang Liang tries to explain, but she cuts him off, saying, "Forget it. There's no time. We need every fighter." She points at Fan Yi, ordering him to join the front line. The woman confirms her command with a sharp yes. Her gaze flickers to Fan Yi, noting how ordinary he looks with only faint traces of spiritual energy active. She wonders if he is really the one they're after, but pushes the thought aside for now. She turns to him. "Since you are Wang Liang's friend, you may stay. But remember, this is a restricted zone. Once you step in, life and death are your own responsibility, and what you see must remain secret." Fan Yi nods in understanding. The woman raises her weapon and calls out, "Zhang Mi, Li Yu." Two figures launch forward, striking down at the beast with blazing force while she unleashes a torrent of golden firepower, lighting up the battlefield. The beast howls, its body surging with violent red energy, its mutation growing worse. Its fangs glow as it charges forward, claws tearing through the air. Soldiers shout in panic, "Li Yu, watch out!" The monster lunges, its strike nearly crushing him. Weapons fire back, explosions shake the ground. The red-haired commander barks orders. "Keep your distance. Don't let it finish evolving." Her troops respond with discipline, unleashing blasts in unison. Fan Yi watches silently, his eyes narrow. A trained unit. Their trust, discipline, and coordination allow them to strike as one. Every member indispensable. Together, their strength exceeds what they could achieve alone. Fan Yi warns sharply, "Ruin, you're no match for that beast." The creature erupts in violent purple energy, shaking the battlefield. Orders ring out. Raise the alert level. This mutation has escalated. No retreat allowed. Understood, the soldiers reply, holding formation. The monstrous hound roars, its darkness attribute now fully awakened. Its body twists, completing its dreadful mutation. A soldier stumbles back in fear, muttering, "Impossible." The commander shouts, "Stay sharp. That thing's unstable." Wang Liang freezes as the hound locks eyes on him, its killing intent. Suffocating Wang Liang, someone yells desperately, but the beast lunges before he can react. Fan Yi's expression hardens. Not good. Wang Liang charges in, but the beast strikes him hard. Blood sprays across the ground. The commander roars to the troops. "Attention, all units! Variant Hound in Restricted Zone 019 has mutated and evolved. It's been reclassified from C level to B level. Combat plan updated." Fan Yi watches in silence, his gaze heavy as Wang Liang staggers back, blood pouring from his wounds. Fan Yi asks, "Are you all right?" Wang Liang coughs up blood and forces a smile. "I'm fine. I just fused spiritual energy into the bullet. It strained me. Then I got backlash. Don't worry too much, we soldiers of Zone 1 are tough." Fan Yi narrows his eyes, silent, while Wang Liang continues to bleed, forcing himself to stay on his feet. The commander shouts to her troops, "No matter the tactical cost, even if it means our lives, we cannot allow a B-level variant to escape the restricted zone." Fan Yi steps forward, lightning bursting from his body, his eyes glowing with resolve. The commander turns to him startled. "What are you trying to do?" she demands.